What a weekend it was for Alabama. I call it the five-star weekend, and it's also the weekend that Alabama officially pulled ahead of Ohio State for the nation's #1 recruiting class, according to our friends at On3. And we're going to talk about that. How big was it seeing Ty Haywood officially committing to Alabama? Go along with Caleb Cunningham, our buddy. All of that right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. I'm back from Vegas. Big Elmo's still out in Vegas. He's going to join the show right after this. Roll Tide, everybody. Great to talk to you on this Monday. Boom, there he is. What is up, dude? Good to see you, and good to see all you guys as well at WJLX 101.5 for Brett Elmore. I'm at Broadcaster Mick on the socials. We'll talk about Vegas here in just a minute, but five-star weekend at the Capstone, baby. Ty Haywood made it official. He joins Caleb Cunningham, and all of a sudden, they were calling him Husky Harbin, and instead, or whatever the coach's name at Auburn.
Harsin.
Oh, Harsin. Thanks.
Yeah.
The guy that lasted like a year. Did this guy ever have a #1 recruiting class while he was at Auburn?
No. And I tell you what, we've been talking about it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And boom, here it is. We need to leave town more often. Because whenever we leave town, 5 stars come knocking. And, you looked at Caleb Cunningham, and then the latest edition, I guess it was yesterday, and Ty Haywood. And that finally bumped us to the top over Ohio State. And it's good to see these two guys. Of course, we've talked to Caleb Cunningham a couple of times on this show. Hopefully he'll be on again with us this week to talk about how that kind of all transpired and what led to his final decision. But it's been a great weekend. I mean, you just can't beat it with a couple of 5 stars, and there's still a whole lot out there.
Well, everybody's going to say who's next, right? Because we kind of said, hey, when Caleb committed officially, we said, well, watch out for Ty to be the next guy. He was an Alabama fan his whole life, from Mississippi originally, moved to Denton, Texas. He'll be closer to home. Alabama now has amassed, too, an offensive line group in this recruiting that is unmatched. It's unrivaled. I mean, all of these really elite players wanting to be on the same team really tells you that they feel like they can be the next wave and help Alabama maintain that dynasty legacy. But, I mean, you talk about him, you talk about Micah DuBose from down in Vigor that said, hey, I'm coming to Alabama. Mal Waltrip coming to Alabama. Dad played football for the Tide. Big Mike, Michael Carroll from up in Pennsylvania. I mean, this is a beastie group, man.
Yeah, it is. And, Haywood, like you mentioned, he grew up an Alabama fan. And he kind of got it really kicked into high gear for his visit to Tuscaloosa at the end of May. He went for a weekend over there, and then it was kind of full steam ahead on this guy. And yeah, everyone says who's next, and of course, you got to AK Deer's got to be in your mind, but also don't forget a guy that we had talked about even with Caleb Cunningham, and that is Derek Meadows. Mm-hmm. From Bishop Gorman out in Las Vegas. Now, he will be announcing this week. His official announcement is set for Saturday.
How about that?
So he'll be committing on Saturday. Where will he go? He's another 5-star on 24/7 Sports. A lot of people think he's going to Notre Dame, but still, Alabama's in the mix.
Well, remember, Caleb's the one that told us that he had a great visit.
Yeah.
I mean, just going off of that doesn't mean he's not going to go to Notre Dame. But great players like to play with other great players. I mean, that's
Sure.
just the way it is. And Nick Saban kind of, built the program on that. Elite practicing against elite, and going out there and then playing in the games as a team and then fighting each other in practice. What was Jake Coker's always like, hey, good on good, right? I mean, so as this thing kind of unfurls, we'll see how that goes. I do want to throw this up here for you. I believe in my mind, Brett, that On3 is the top recruiting service that is out there. I am a little biased. I spent some time working with them, so I'm a believer in what they do. And they got Alabama slightly ahead of Ohio State. They got the Tide with 4 4-stars now, 14 4-stars, 4 5-stars, 14 4-stars. And then the number on the end, I mean, just nudged ahead of Ohio State. So both teams now have 23 recruits. Alabama ahead of Georgia. Georgia only has 20 recruits, so that could change there. Oregon with 16. You never know how many spots these guys have, how many they're going to take in the transfer portal. But I'll tell you what, anytime that you're recruiting at that level, good things are going to happen. Now, I'm going to put this one up here for you to take a look at. This is 24/7, and they're the other kind of recruiting service that I put a lot of stock in. Then they have Alabama with 5 4-stars. No, 5 5-stars. I don't know what keeps saying it. 14 4-stars. So 5 5-stars. I mean, that's more than anyone else, and that number could even change. This recruiting class is being built, Brett, with the elite of the elite. And people didn't think that would happen.
No, they didn't. And like I say, still more to come. And it's going to be a busy week as far as football's concerned. We're kicking off media days this week. That's always a lot of fun. It signals the unofficial start to the college football season. It's going to be a big week in Dallas. Looking forward to the coverage and seeing what Coach DeBoer has to say. His first time to experience an SEC media day, and what a time to kind of break him in when you have Texas and Oklahoma coming in at the same time. And it's just a new look SEC and definitely a new look Alabama, and that'll be one of the big topics, I'm sure, in Dallas.
Yeah. How's your time in Vegas been?
It's been good. Everything's good. Appreciate you. We had a great time, and of course, I'll be flying out here shortly, but heading back to sweet home Alabama.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I got on my plane, and I look over, and I'm sitting. I actually accidentally bumped into him, first row of a Southwest flight, and I wanted to sit up front so I could get out fast. And I'm like, oh, God, sorry. Bump into this guy sitting next to me. And then I look over and I'm like, I think that's Derrick Henry. And then somebody walks on the plane. And they're like, hey, Derrick. And it was Derrick Henry. He was in disguise. Like he had a hood down over his
Yeah, nothing disguises him. I hope you didn't hurt him when you bumped into him.
No, you can't hurt him, man. It's not of all the funny things that could happen, and do the podcast with Jake Coker on Roll Tide Pods. I'm like, I can't wait to just talk about him being in disguise. I'm sure want to be bothered, and all that stuff. So I didn't really want to bother him either. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Just ironic.
It really is. You never know who you're going to run into in Vegas. We ran into Elvis.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, big Elvis at this show.
That was great.
All right. I want to remind everybody this, Brett, before we figure out what's going on today, that our show is presented by our friends at Pearl River Resort. We love them over there. That's a way to go to Vegas and not spend $20 on a beer. You can just go to Pearl River, and I'm telling you, you're going to save money because it's expensive to fly out there. It's expensive to buy a drink. Everything's inflated in Vegas all of a sudden. It used to be a little expensive. Now it's a lot expensive. Pearl River is awesome, man. It's an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 hours maybe in change from Birmingham. Wasn't that far for Brett. Wasn't that far for me. We were there a couple weeks ago. Got the same exact experience that we had in Vegas, except it's right in our backyard. The Timeout Sports Lounge. We were in the sports book at Harrah's, and Brett was like, "Hey, Timeout's just as good, Just
it really is.
Have everything you want. I mean, so try it for yourself." Spend $50 at the sports book and you can play Dancing Rabbit Golf Course for $40. That's the Augusta that you can play. Also table games and slots, all the roulette like Brett likes that you can handle. Also great restaurants in there. Some of them are open 24 hours and just a lot of fun. So check it out. The water park is rolling right now in the summer heat, but all that at Pearl River Resort. All right, Brett, you take over when we get back from this quick, very, very quick timeout.
Escape to Pearl River Resort. They call him Big Sexy. Coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy. Throwing out those Alabama thoughts. Sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick gives you the XP, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
Yeah, it's the 15th day of July. Let's take a look at celebrity birthdays today. We got comedian Eddie Griffin is 56 today.
He's funny, man.
Yeah,
I saw Eddie Griffin, and he was cracking on Shannon Sharp.
That's funny.
for the Cat Williams thing.
Yeah.
It was hilarious, man. Like, just really funny.
He is hilarious. Singer Linda Ronstadt is 78 today.
I know the name, and I probably know a lot of her songs too. Yeah. I'm trying to think of one off the top.
I know one guy that you do know.
What's that?
Jesse the Body Ventura is 73 today.
And when he was awesome as a wrestling commentator.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
And he was one of the wrestling dolls that I had. I had like the wrestling guy, the little rubber wrestling guys in the ring and everything. I had his doll. And then he had a falling out and disappeared. And then he came back as governor of Minnesota. And I thought he was a pretty interesting guy. He's kind of gotten out there a little bit with some of his stuff, but I like his voice. And he was also in Predator. He was a pretty good actor in Predator too.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Artemis Pyle, former drummer of Lynyrd Skynyrd, 76 today.
Yeah. He would be 76, right?
Yeah.
I think he's dead.
Is he dead?
But I heard an interview with him on Howard Stern, and he talked about the plane crash.
Yeah.
And what happened in the plane crash. And it's just incredible, and half the band made it. And, obviously Ronnie Van Zant didn't make it, the lead singer.
Right.
And, it was just all about, it was really just like where in the plane you were sitting. And they ran out of gas, Lynyrd Skynyrd. That's how they died. They ran out of gas. You think about the millions and millions of dollars that band's even worth today. How do you run out of gas?
Look, before I catch my flight today, I'm going to say when I walk into the door of the plane, I'm going to look over and say, "Did y'all fill it up?" It's a great flight.
Fill her up.
Fill her up, pal. Speaking of Howard Stern, his wife Beth, who is a supermodel, is 52 today.
Yeah. That's what I've always said. Money and fame can overcome looks. because as I used to watch Howard and listen to him, nothing about him says handsome, but he is a pretty funny guy. He used to be. I haven't listened in a long time, but he is funny, and I went to school with one of the guys on the show, so
Yeah.
I think the show's fantastic. I do like the show. The characters on there and stuff. So happy birthday, Beth.
If you're looking for something to celebrate today is National Be a Dork Day.
Hey, sign me up for that.
I wasn't going to crack the joke. You did it.
I didn't have a chance to even change from Vegas. I just went like this just because I'm like, hey, I'm coming back. I might as well just,
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. This day in history is trying to look to see maybe what happened this day. Oh my goodness, 1968. The daytime soap opera One Life to Live debuted.
Yeah, the worst things on television when you're a kid and your mom or your babysitter watches those, because then you're stuck watching them too. And the last thing you want to do at 2:00 on a Tuesday is have to watch that when there could be cartoons on or Andy Griffith reruns. Now there's a million things to watch, though. Are those still like popular, those soaps?
I think they are. Yeah, I think my mom still watches them.
Does she?
And finally, this day in history, one of the worst songs in history, Gangnam Style, is released in 2012.
Yeah, it was like a herpes. You just couldn't get rid of it.
Couldn't get rid of it.
Hate it. Great show.
Don't mention that. I've been in Vegas now. I'm coming home.
Yeah, right. Be careful out there. Yeah. Hey, I do want to say one thing that is kind of unrelated that I do want to mention, though, is that that the shooting of the assassination attempt on Trump. Look, Brett and I are great friends. We disagree on a lot of things politically, but we're still great friends. And that's what America's supposed to be like. And I went to school at Alabama. Dr. Alza Coffey, who was our teacher, he's the toughest professor at the University of Alabama in political science. We disagreed on a lot of stuff. And him and I became great friends, to the point where people thought I was like the graduate assistant for his classes, because I got time at the beginning of the class after he gave his talk for me to give mine. True story. But that's what politics are supposed to be like in America. You're supposed to be able to disagree with people. And I hope that this is something that we can see a change in political rhetoric, where people will say, oh, they compare Trump to Hitler, or the Republicans comparing the Democrats to whoever, that's terrible, and all this stuff. Let's try to disagree with a little more compassion, and a little more respect. I mean, I hope that's what we get out of this. On top of the fact that our government is absolutely inept right now. They let a 20-year-old climb on a building and shoot at a former president that's has a good chance to win again. But the bottom line is this: I watched that and I can't get it out of my head. I mean, like how crazy that is, and it brought me back to the assassination of Martin Luther King, and the assassination of RFK and his brother JFK and all that stuff. And I hope that that's not the direction that we're going right now. Really don't. But it's still an incident, and prayers to the people that were killed in that. And I just hope, and I think this is, it feels like, and who knows how genuine these politicians are, but it kind of feels like that they're going to use this to try to unite the country instead of divide us. Right.
Yeah. And President Biden gave a speech from the Oval Office last night, and that's what he's asking for is unity in the country. We're all in this together. I mean, come on.
I mean, we hate Auburn, but we can still be social. We live with some of them. We go to school with some of them. We go.
Look, Nick, I wouldn't take it that far. Okay.
All right, guys. Comment section. You tell us what you think. Always great to read everything that you guys write. And us, we made it through our Vegas trip. We did miss one day. One show I did by myself, which was the worst show ever on this channel. And then we're back together again. And then tomorrow, I guess you'll be home for the show.
Normalcy is coming back.
Yeah. And the other thing is I love watching Alabama kick ass and recruiting. Roll Tide, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.